All right, so we're diving into Get There Before Noon, LA Mix by the Afro Nick. I gotta say, this song, it's got me hooked.
It's a real grabber, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that synth intro. Like, whoa. What about you? Did it pull you in too?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like you're drifting into this dreamy soundscape and then bam, those guitars kick in and it's like pure energy. You know, speaking of the Afro Nick, have you heard about his backstory?
I know a little bit, just enough to make me want to know more. Lay it on me.
Okay, so the Afro Nick, his real name is Nick Anastasakis, and get this, he starts out on the island of Crete.
Really? Crete? Like Greece?
The one and only?
So we're talking indie rock, but like in the land of ancient ruins and mythology, that's a pretty wild combination.
It is, but you know, it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Crete has this rich musical heritage, especially with Romani guitarists. Their sound is raw, it's emotional, it's got this real intensity to it.
Okay, I can see how that would influence an indie rock sound. It's all about passion and energy.
Exactly. And Nick, he embraced that energy from the start. He formed a band called Stray Blue back in Crete, basically introduced a whole new genre to the island.
Wow, that's bold. To talk about a trailblazer. So how does he go from Crete to, well, the Afro Nick?
New York City, that's his next chapter. The city that never sleeps, the melting pot of cultures and sounds. It's there that he reinvents himself, takes on the name the Afro Nick, and really starts to explore his own musical identity.
Makes sense. New York has this way of pushing you to be your most authentic self, you know?
Totally. And for Nick, that meant embracing a DIY approach. He starts self-producing, experimenting with different sounds, really honing his unique style.
You can definitely hear that New York grit in the original version of Get There Before Noon.
Yeah.
But this LA mix, it feels different, more polished somehow.
Absolutely. Fast forward a few years, and now he's based in Los Angeles. That West Coast vibe definitely seeps into his music. It's still got that raw emotion, but it's layered with these lush, almost cinematic sounds.
It's like he took the song on a cross-country road trip, picking up new influences along the way.
Exactly. And speaking of journeys, the inspiration behind this song, it's actually pretty relatable. Apparently, it came from Nick rushing to a recording session after a late night out.
Been there, done that. That mad dash fueled by coffee and the fear of being late.
Oh, totally. We've all had those moments, but it's more than just a funny anecdote.
Yeah, there's got to be more to it.
Think about that feeling, that need to get there before noon. It's like this metaphor for seizing the day, for grabbing life by the horns and making the most of every moment.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see it. It's that urgency, that energy that you hear in the song. It's contagious.
Exactly. It's not just about a deadline. It's about living in the present and making every second count.
And when you really listen to the lyrics, that message hits you right between the eyes.
Right. Lines like, I gotta live this life, not yesterday, and this one gets me every time, and on one day, you're gonna miss that day.
Whoa. Yeah, they're like little wake-up calls reminding us that time flies and we can't take anything for granted. And I think that's why this song, it's resonating with me so much right now.
I get it.
We've all got dreams, goals, experiences we want to have, but it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and just forget to actually go after them, you know?
That's true. It happens to the best of us.
And this song is like kicking the pants.
Yeah.
Like, hey, stop procrastinating, start living.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we have the power to choose how we experience life.
Exactly. Do we want to dwell on the past or worry about the future? Or do we want to embrace the present and make it freaking awesome?
I think the Afro Nick has made his choice pretty clear. And you know what really drives that message home?
What's that?
His voice. It's raw. It's got this almost desperate edge to it, like he's pouring his heart and soul into every word.
Oh, for sure. It's like he's urging us to do the same with our own lives. Don't hold back. Give it all you've got.
And then you've got those backing vocals, especially during the chorus.
Yeah.
They add this layer of hope, like a community of voices cheering you on.
It's like we're all in this together, this crazy journey of trying to live our best lives.
Exactly. We're not alone. And before we get too carried away, how about we let our listeners actually hear a bit of what we're gushing about?
Let's do it. I think they're ready for a dose of this sonic magic. Okay, get those ears ready. We're about to drop in a little snippet of Get There Before Noon, LA Mix by the
what to do. And then you think I am. You know I am me. But all you do is wait until everything's gone. And on one day you're gonna miss that day. And on one day you're gonna miss that day. And all you have to do is say I am me. And all you have to say, I got to go away. I gotta live this life, not yesterday. I gotta live this life, not yesterday. I know you will say, I'll find my way. But all you have to do is get there before noon. I know I'm insane, I might be insane, but all you have to do is get there before noon. I might be insane, I might be insane, but all you have to do is get there before noon.
Earworm, right?
It's infectious.
That synth line, it's like it's permanently etched into my brain now.
But you know what really elevates this track for me is the production.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's so clean, every single element just perfectly in place.
It's like you can really hear that LA influence you're talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That cinematic quality.
Right. It's like the song is taking you on this journey through sound.
Yes.
Starting with that hypnotic intro, and then it builds and builds to this like epic climax. And those layers, swirling synths, driving guitars.
I'll forget that bass line.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping it all grounded.
It's amazing, right? And you know, you've got to give the Afro Nick credit for his ability to blend genres.
Oh, yeah. It's like indie rock, but then there's these touches of psychedelic alt rock,
Even some subtle electronic elements in there.
but it all comes together seamlessly.
It does. It's not just like a random mishmash of sounds. It's intentional.
Yeah.
Like every element is serving the song's message. That sense of urgency, that hope,
You can hear it in the way the music, it swells and recedes.
like waves on the shore.
Yes. Speaking of waves, did you notice like the actual ocean sounds woven into the mix?
Well, yeah.
They're so subtle, almost like you don't even realize they're there at first, but they add this whole dreamy layer to it.
Yeah, it's like you're transported to a beach in LA, just soaking in the vibe.
Those little details, that's what makes this track so special.
Absolutely. He's playing with texture and atmosphere, creating this sonic landscape that's both familiar but also like otherworldly.
Okay, and the instrumental break.
Oh.
We have to talk about the instrumental break.
Oh, yeah. That's where Grammy-winning synth player Leonardo Genovese really shines.
Wait, hold on. Leonardo Genovese?
Yeah.
Like the Leonardo Genovese?
The one and only.
No way.
He brings this incredible depth to the track with his synth work. It's like he's painting with sound.
Seriously. I had no idea he was involved. That's amazing.
It just adds another layer of awesomeness to it, doesn't it?
For sure.
His playing, it complements the Afro Nick's guitar so well. They create this call and response effect. It's just captivating.
It's like a musical conversation, but full of energy and emotion.
And it really showcases the Afro Nick's ability to bring together these incredibly talented musicians, to
Yeah.
create something truly unique. It's like he's not just writing a song, he's curating an experience.
It's interesting listening to this song and talking about it. It's making me think about how often we get so caught up in like the getting there part of life
Yeah.
that we forget to actually enjoy the journey.
That's a really good point. It's like we're always rushing toward the next deadline, the next goal, and we don't take the time to just savor the present moment.
Yeah, and this song is a good reminder to slow down, to appreciate the little things.
And find joy in the process.
Yes, and it's not about being lazy or complacent. It's about finding that balance between striving for our goals and actually enjoying the ride.
Exactly. It's like instead of focusing on just getting there before noon,
Yeah.
maybe we should ask ourselves, what's so special about noon anyway? What are we working towards?
I love that. It's about being mindful, intentional with our choices.
Absolutely. And making sure that we're not just going through the motions.
And, sometimes getting there before noon, it might mean taking a detour, exploring a side road,
Yeah.
or even just stopping to admire the scenery along the way.
Exactly. Life isn't a straight line. It's about embracing the twists and turns.
Those unexpected adventures that make it all worthwhile.
And speaking of adventures, I bet our listeners are wondering where they can find this sonic gem for themselves.
Right. Where can they get their hands on this track?
Well, you can find a link to Get There Before Noon, LA Mix, in the episode description.
Go give it a listen. Let the music wash over you and see where it takes you.
Seriously, you won't regret it.
This song is a total earworm in the best possible way.
It is.
And after you've had a chance to experience it for yourself, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, what resonated with you? Did it spark any personal reflections or inspire you to take action?
Yeah.
Share your takeaways with us. We always love to hear from fellow music lovers.
It's amazing, isn't it, how one song can spark so many different thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
We've gone from the beaches of LA to ancient Crete, all thanks to Get There Before Noon, LA Mix.
It really shows how music can transport us, connect, like completely different ideas and experiences. And in this case, it also shows the Afro Nick's talent as an artist.
Absolutely. Weaving his personal journey, his musical influences, and this message about living life to the fullest into this incredibly catchy and thought-provoking track. It's definitely got me thinking about my own noon deadlines.
Right.
Those things I've been putting off or dreams I haven't chased yet. Mm-hmm. What about you? Did this deep dive spark any reflections for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's like a good reminder to check in with myself. Make sure I'm prioritizing things that really matter, not getting bogged down by the everyday hustle.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that little nudge, that wake-up call to realign our priorities, remember what brings us joy.
Totally. And I think that's a great takeaway for our listeners, too.
Yeah.
As you're listening to Get There Before Noon, LA Mix, and trust me, you'll be hitting that repeat button.
Oh, yeah.
Think about your own noon deadline. What's
Yeah.
that one thing you've been meaning to do?
Yeah.
That experience you want to have? That dream you want to pursue?
Don't let it slip away. Take a step, even a small one.
Yeah.
Because as the Afro Nick says, I gotta live this life, not yesterday.
Make today count. Well said. And on that note, we reached the end of our deep dive into Get There Before Noon, LA Mix.
We have.
We hope you've enjoyed this sonic adventure with us.
If you haven't already, definitely check out the song. The link is in the episode description. And let us know what you think.
Yeah, we always love to hear your thoughts, your connections to the music, any aha moments you had during this deep dive.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring, keep listening.
Keep chasing those noon deadlines.
Yes.
And remember, life is a journey, not a destination. So enjoy the ride.
Exactly.